Riffsters. This is a project we've been working on for a long time now. Really excited to share it with you. I'm Julian. This is Derek. This is Dana. The concept is really simple. We have a bowl. We have ideas in the bowl. We're going to pick one of the, or I guess conversation starters. We're going to pick a conversation starter out of this bowl. We're going to read it and we're going to riff on it for approximately 20 to 30 minutes.
Let's tell the people what kind of topics are in this bowl. We have everything from what's the best gift from Santa. We have what's your favorite Disney Channel original movie. Which Beanie Baby is most valuable in your collection?
Yep.
Obviously mine was Prince Diana Bear, so that didn't get me anywhere.
No.
But what do we got today? Dana, do you want to choose?
Well, hold on. Let's just say, also, we are doing this live. This is a kind of a cool thing we're trying.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone else do podcasts via Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Eventually, we want to do it on YouTube Live. This is kind of a pilot. We're testing things out. So, but what I wanted to say is comment if you're watching. Feel free to comment. We'll read as many comments as we can. There might be a slight delay, but please comment if you are tuning in, which it looks like we have two, three viewers, which is kind of cool.
Hello.
And we'll see the comments. We can read them right here.
We'll see the comments on the screen here while we're riffing away. So, did you want to read the?
Read the comments. But pick out the thing.
Yes. Do you want to read the?
But I also wanted to say something. I want to say
do your plug.
But no, for sure. Like, if you're commenting, like, please do. We want you to be a part of the conversation as well. Like, this is a podcast, but we love your input. So.
If you have something like favorite Snapple flavors or something that you just want us to talk about, whatever it is, I'd say we could choose a comment and probably riff on it, whatever it is.
I think I got it.
All right.
Are we ready?
Let me read it.
You want to read it?
I want to read it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We have no idea what this is.
I want to read it.
You ready?
Sorry. You can read the next one.
Hit it.
Okay. So our first topic for
our first topic ever
is if you were a villain.
Okay, I already like this.
Yep.
What would be your motivation / your plan that you would be attempting to achieve via your villainy? So. So think about it a little bit, because there's complexity here, there's depth here. Where it's not just as, I guess your answer could be, I would just be evil for the sake of being evil. It's not really fun, though. So let's take a moment to collectively think about it. Guys, if you're watching live as well, feel free to comment in and comment with your ideas as well.
So we just had 2 more people join. Read the question one more time.
Good call.
Yeah.
So again, the question, or the conversation starter that we pulled out of our little bowl here was, if you are a supervillain or a villain, what would be your motivation and what would be your plan that you would try to enact via that motivation?
Oof. Man, but I have so many evil schemes.
Yeah, you're pretty
I
evil.
thought about it. I have mine locked and loaded.
You do?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
So are you familiar with Watchmen? Ozymandias?
Yeah.
Of course.
So I love the concept behind this villain, and I think I take villainous inspiration from this, in that he was willing to be the person that everyone hated, and so they would unite and band together.
Right.
So I would be this necessary evil that the world needs to find out that their differences are not so big.
Right.
And so maybe I would raise an alien army, or do these have to be bound by the laws of physics or anything?
This can live in whatever fantasy world.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I would probably act as a human emissary. I would visit other interspecies, and I would say, hey, I'm trying to raise an army and take over my own planet. You can have it if you want. Of course, I'm only approaching people that I know humans can be. But I will put up a substantial threat, and maybe it'll get rid of like 1/3 of the population as casualties. But I raise them. I am just the face of this villainous group, and we invade Earth, and Earth quickly has to realize it's going to be for the survival of the human species. Every Earthling has to band together to fight off this alien force and, like, Derek. And so they do that, and they eventually beat me and destroy all the aliens, hopefully, and I will be slain, but in doing so, I will die reassured that I brought everyone together and saw that even fighting alongside each other, their differences are not so different. So I guess I'm a hero, too.
I like this because I've always felt that, I've always said this, I've always felt like the only way that humans will ever know true peace is by uniting against a common enemy.
Yes, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, I always say this. I always feel like if there's not something for us to fight against, then which is why most of my favorite villain plots end up being like that. Which is, I like that you pulled out Watchmen because that's one of my favorites. I think that's one of the best because you can't really call him a villain at that point.
No,
like
he's almost a hero. He's an anti-hero at that point.
And I think that I would argue that the best villains that I can think of are the ones that their goal is one that's actually the good of humanity. They're just going about it in a way that is.
I think he was so intelligent. Yeah. He knew this, and so he knew that he was going to be the martyr for this cause. Yeah, I think so. But that's something that zombies can't achieve. A lot of times horror villains can't achieve. Is zombies will set a scarcity of resources, so humans are against humans, but we have to have humans banding together to fight something that is otherworldly, that hopefully won't impact them.
Yeah.
It's kind of a... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a little bit of a upsetting commentary on the human race, too, where it's like, if you think about it, the fact that we need conflict, because think about it, there will never be, in this model, true peace then, because if the human race unites against an outside other race invading, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then, we as a species have united, but then we are in conflict with something else. Now, let's say the two of us had to fight a greater enemy.
Yeah.
We would unite against but there would never be, I guess it's not our default to say, let's unite in peace. It's always our default to be, let's unite in conflict against. So
that's
it's kind
really
of,
sad, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So... Thanks for joining us. That was your Daily Depressing Hour.
Oh, 6 people. Woohoo!
Dana, I want to hear from you. What is your...
Oh, God.
First off, what type of evil are you? I know you personally. I think you're chaotic evil.
I'm chaotic evil, I'm actually chaotic neutral in like D&D, so...
Before you start, since we have some new viewers, for those of you who are joining, we're going to be, again, because this is live, if you're listening to this after the fact, the reason that we're going to constantly reiterate the premise is because we have people joining. So for those of you just joining us, the discussion topic that we're discussing is, if you were a supervillain, what would be your motivation, and what would be your plan that you would enact, and why? So go ahead.
I'm having a hard time coming up with what the plan I would enact, because there's so many things I want to be evil about. But like, I'm trying to think of like the people or like the villains that because like, going back to the point you were saying was like that his villainy was almost relatable in a way.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually always felt bad for Magneto. Recently we just watched Spider-Man, and without any spoilers, I don't want to spoil because it's still only been out for a week now. Even the Vulture had some great, I would say it's probably one of the better Marvel villains.
Could identify with him.
I think that he was written in a way that I actually kind of felt bad for him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of villain I want to be. I want people to understand my point of view, feel bad about incarcerating me, while also enacting my evil plan.
Which is what?
That's a great question.
That is the question.
But I think there can be a lot of motivation, such as if you were to create a disease or something and wipe out a third of humanity, you could still have great intentions of, I was doing it to protect the resources, to protect the human species, because we're over carrying capacity.
So, okay, I got it. So I know what kind of villain I would be. See, you know how Magneto is all for, like, the mutants and everything, and he's doing everything in his power to be, like, to help the mutants in his own way, even though it's kind of evil and not, like, Xavier, for instance. I feel like I would be that way with animals. Like, I would be the evil villain that is trying to do the best for the world for animals.
You're the poison ivy of animals.
That's literally what I was about to say. Was I would be the
reference.
poison ivy for plants, or for animals.
Okay.
Does that mean you'd get rid of all humans because we're probably the most intrusive and invasive to animals?
No. See, that's the thing. I wouldn't. I wouldn't get rid of humans, but I would heavily regulate them and make sure that they all were forced to take care of precious
Obey
baby
my
animals.
bunny.
Yes.
She would regulate us.
Right, I would be that evil person. Like, I'd be like, okay. It'd be like when I play The Sims.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Tell the viewers, for those who don't know, what you do when you play The Sims.
Well, for one, if I have an ugly baby, I kill it. But that's a whole other issue that we should probably... Actually, I got the idea from a documentary on
There's
the
a
Spartans.
cliff you walk to and you just chuck them off.
Let's put it this way. The Spartans would think that her treatment of her Sims is cruel.
Savage AF.
I don't think so. They were pretty damn cruel.
The Spartans see her and they're like, That's messed up.
That's a Spartan woman right there.
The Spartans simply took their weakest children and made them, and it was a natural selection process. You lock your kid. You make all your Sims spawn their own children. You lock them all in a basement where they die or you'll marry a rich person, have a brood of spawn, and then kill the rich person and steal his. She's laughing because I'm 100% telling the truth.
He's using concrete examples.
I'm
not even lying.
Even those people that I want to kill off, I make sure they're useful to society before I kill them. Okay, I lock them in a basement. I make them paint to make us a bunch of money, and then I kill them off when they're no longer useful. That's all.
I've taken your money. You're no good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the recycling bin for
It's
you.
a very Spartan thing.
Interesting.
But no, not for the animals thing. I don't know how.
How are you going to regulate humans, first off?
That's hard.
Weapons, saying I
have
a detonator, don't do it, or else I blow us all up.
I feel like I wouldn't want to kill anybody or do anything that heinous, but at the same time, you know what I would do? I would probably put chips in everyone's brain and make them take care of animals. It'd have to be some sort of have any of you ever read the Uglies series? Okay, so it's basically this series. It's a really good young adult series where everyone after the age of I think 15, 16 goes under the knife and becomes beautiful. Anything we're all considered uglies in this universe because we haven't had this transformation, but in that transformation you find out later in the books, and I won't spoil it all the way, but they get chips put in their brain to help regulate the societies and make them bubbly and make them
like Stepford almost? Just
actually
too perfect?
Yes. I don't know why I didn't come up with that. That's a more well-known reference than the Ugly series, but yeah, basically there's some sort of mind control. They're happy, they're totally living their lives and having a good life. It's just they don't have any free will.
Could you also consider maybe taking control of worldwide broadcasting and then just playing the Sarah McLachlan's commercials just to make everyone feel bad? And so hopefully it inspires
the arms of
Here's the thing.
That's the one. It's this is little Magugu holds little bunny rabbit. You're killing Magugu.
He has cancer and is blind. Please adopt him.
Because
can you guilt people into empathy?
No, because some people just legitimately don't have empathy.
Can you kill those people, though? In a basement, perhaps?
I don't.
Preferably.
But again, I don't want to kill people. I feel like my type of evil is it's a love for all animals, and technically humans are animals. I would just want to tame them a little more and make them not hurt my baby kitties.
But what animals would rise, what animals would have free will then, in your domain?
All of them but humans. So.
She basically wants to make the Planet of the Apes a reality.
This is why I say she's chaotic evil.
Animals instead of apes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but
and she wants to be their brood mother.
Well, no, because
That's actually spot on accurate.
I used to volunteer for some people, and we would go and steal abused animals, basically, from their abusive home. And the things that I had seen during that time was so harrowing. I heard this word earlier. Now I'm going to use it. It really made me a little stone cold towards humans, because I was like, how can anyone treat this poor animal who has no free will of its own, or no true free thought? How could they treat it like this? And I guess that's where I get that darkness sort of has seeped in, as I remember this poor dog or this poor cat.
I think I would take a silenced PP7. Just kick open their door, see they're mistreating their dog. Yeah. They get two to the dome, just 2 to the body, 1 to the face.
Again, though,
and then I take the dog, and then I have a farm somewhere. And we regulate that farm via little chips and make everything be Stepford.
You know what's funny is this was supposed to be a fun discussion question, and the more she talks, the more I feel like
it's depressing.
She's one animal murder away from enacting this plan. She's really close. She's one.
The thing is you're not wrong.
She's one dead deer on the side of the road away from snapping and just.
I once hit a deer and I cried. I felt so bad. I stayed. I made sure the animal controller.
The deer was "I'm fine. You don't have to."
It wasn't fine
anymore. It walks away.
I'm fine. I'm good, bro.
And she's like, "No, let me buy you dinner."
Yeah, no, it had a hurt leg. leg, but it got taken care of. They didn't kill it on the side of the road, as most rumors.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, don't even bother. They're just going to kill it. When
Yeah.
they didn't. And I was like, because deer are obviously overpopulating a lot of areas. So I was like, oh no, I just gave this one a premature death. I didn't mean to. Like, and I'm not going to eat this one. So like, I already kind of feel bad because it's like a wasted,
Got some bumper in it. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
In contrast to all the other ones that she eats. This one, though, she wasn't going to eat that one, though. So
I
that
have
one-
gone hunting, but
that
like
one
I
would've
don't
gone to
waste. I don't waste them.
She had enough winter pelts, so this one wasn't going to really do anything
Yes.
for her.
Chips of a reflector or a headlight
You know,
in it.
when I take over the world, you're the first I'm going to throw into the lion's den for food.
Yeah.
Hey, when I see you're abusing Julian, I'm going to kick your door down with the silenced PP7. It's going to be 2 to the
You're
body,
abusing animals.
1 to the face. I'm going to take Julian. I'm going to be like, let's go to the farm somewhere. Let's find you a nice farm.
All right. So if I'm so evil, what is your villainy, sir?
Mine is not unlike yours.
Mhm.
I like what you said, because when I think of in recent memory, when I think of the best, to me the best like villainous plot that I've seen in like a movie or TV show or whatever, it's in Kingsman. Which if you haven't seen it, sorry, spoiler alert. I'll give you like 3 seconds to turn off this podcast. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm spoiling the ending.
Hey, nobody
So-
left.
That's good news. So obviously his plan in that is Samuel Jackson's character. He's not even like a bad guy. Like, he doesn't like blood. He doesn't like killing people. Literally he was like, I consulted a bunch of climate scientists. They all said the world is going to die if of human population because we're consuming it. I'm going to kill off half of the a majority of the population with this device that's going to make them all kill each other.
That's fair.
And I've groomed the best of the best. Now, obviously, I'm not saying it's a great idea. Like, there's flaws. And, like,
So you would kill people.
Like the survival of the fittest.
who's to say who gets to what gives him the right to select which people get to survive? So there's that
Right.
there's that whole critique. But it's funny that when I watch the movie, and the more I watch it, the more I'm like, the Kingsmen are like portrayed as obviously the heroes, but like, it's like if you like looked at it as kind of like a god of the universe, you're like, wow, who's this dumbass? Like, he doesn't even know that like 100,000 years from now, or 100 whatever how many years it is from now, this Earth is going to collapse, and this dude was about to save it, and this dude screwed it up.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to save his mom. In like that, like it's just when you zoom out, villainy just becomes logic. That's I think like the funny thing about it.
I think it depends on the situation of the villainy. Again, like, I would say, like, mind controlling people not to have sex and not to procreate anymore will also save the world, but also keep not kill anybody, so they can still live out their lives and not kill little children, like in that movie.
His execution was off.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to be said about it's funny that when you zoom out of that scenario, the Kingsmen are the real bad guys, because he's saving the immediate day, but he's basically dooming the future of humanity because the Earth is going to die, and then I guess that brings up all sorts of moral questions. But anyway, sorry. Point is, I like that. I think that's an interesting model, and those are the best villains to me. So my evil villain plan, which I'm actually writing a movie about this. Fun fact. So if you see this like years from now,
you called it.
this is where it started.
It's Kingsman 3.
Julian edition.
Yeah, it's the unasked for.
Have we gone to space
sequel.
yet? Okay, yeah, we're going to space
We're
this
going
time.
to So I would basically want to, if I was ever like a billionaire, I would basically take that money. I would hire a team, like a SEAL Team 6 type group of people, but like completely black ops, off the books. I would basically hire them to be my personal Batman. And they're like the most hyper-trained, highly elite soldiers that you've ever known.
I'll do it.
And
I'll do it.
Sounds like the plot of a supervillain, yes.
And I communicate with them anonymously, so they don't know who I am. I don't, but I know who they are. And basically, I would send them on covert missions with the most advanced technology to basically just wipe out people that are assholes. So like Kim Jong-un, done. Like tomorrow. The guy that takes his place and tries to keep doing what he's doing, done the next day. And you do enough of them, and then eventually the fifth or sixth guy would be like, every single guy who's tried to take power in this country and do some crazy bad shit has died like the next day. So I'm gonna maybe not do that.
I feel like
you would proceed. Oh, let me finish my idea. You guys are like trying to chime in before I'm done.
All right, hurry up then.
So you just continue to basically eliminate one by one every major threat in the world, and you leave the same calling card so that all these bastards know that anyone who who tries to do some bad shit is going to get the axe by this anonymous organization, and no one would never know. And you just kind of groom and crop out the bush that is the world.
Sounds so villainous. I mean, that sounds like the Empire in Star Wars.
It does.
They're like, I want peace and prosperity across my empire.
Yeah.
And you will kill anyone that challenges you.
No. I won't kill anyone that challenges me. I'll kill anyone that's trying to further a bad agenda. I can think of like 100 people right now in the world.
Wouldn't I be a part of that bad agenda if I were to challenge you, being like, people need to live?
Or say, oh, people need to have opposition, or people need to have free will to make the decision to have like this and that, and like, at what point does the line get crossed between who you're killing and like their ideology, and maybe it's just different from yours, but it works for those people?
No, it's very short. It's a very easy distinction. It's Kim Jong-un, gone.
Yep.
African warlord, gone.
Yeah.
Tyrants, gone.
Okay.
Dictators, gone. Like Middle Eastern factions of terrorist cells, gone. Like those are the people. And then once they're gone, and then but the idea is that
then do you dismantle? At what point are you like, all right, we've done everything?
But what about corruption in the American government? Like what? Like
that's not our job. But
I would almost say that in some ways, like lobbyists are kind of dictators in their own right, because they're like throwing money so that only their viewpoint is ever.
Sure, but I would solve that because I'm a billionaire in this scenario. No, I would solve that
$1
problem.
billion isn't a lot, though.
Sorry, I'm a trillionaire in this scenario.
Good.
Okay.
I would solve the lobbyist problem, if you want to point that one out specifically. I'd solve the lobbyist problem not by killing them, but just by paying the lobbyists more to not lobby. Like, whatever it was that they were going to be paid by whatever NRA or whatever who was trying to get them to lobby, anti-cigarette, whatever.
Yeah.
I would just pay them more. So you don't have to kill. And that's American democracy. I'm not trying to mess with the government of the world. I'm trying to take objectively bad people and objectively horrible individuals and get rid of them.
See, to me, like, that's just slow change. Like, I just want to throw chips in all your brains and be like, have a happy life, but also take care of animals.
I think my plan would have all the world leaders, even the bad ones, be coming together to fight off the aliens. I mean, sure, there'd be some like defectors that'd be like, all right, we're gonna join the aliens. We can't win, and everything. But largely, I think that all of the regimes would kind of coalesce together to fight a larger threat. And then once that threat is taken down, they're like, all right, we fought cross nation border lines, cross races and different stereotypes and everything, and you fought really bravely.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, I like your plan the best. That would have been the one I would pick, but you already chose it, so I came up with my
The
second
benefits of going first.
Whatever. I thought my plan was great.
Your plan was just animals.
That's not true. It was also mind control, and also,
she always does this.
I do. And then the other thing I didn't even mention is like you were talking about just like overpopulation. I was like, I'll just have people not have babies. Like they can be in relationships, fully fulfilling lives, and like maybe like some people can have kids, and like, or maybe everyone's regulated to only having one kid or something. Like just. That sucks. That sounds a lot like China right now, but like they'll be happy because I'll tell them to be happy.
Right.
And they can have all the animals they want to fulfill their other child needs that they need.
I just really get the feeling that like her ideal version of her dictatorship is like her on the podium, like coming to give her like press conference, going, "Well, welcome today to the Dana press conference. Are you guys? How are you feeling? Are you happy?" And everyone would be like, kind of be like, okay, well,
Too late.
you should be happy. So
obey my cat.
Be happy.
But here's the thing: like every home will have a cat or a dog, or if you're allergic to those, a bird maybe.
Oh, so now
wouldn't every
forcing
cat home
animals
have
into
a
homes.
human?
Huh?
Wouldn't it just like trade the roles? So if animals could live happy, fulfilling lives, wouldn't they have humans as pets? Because humans are more regulated than animals at this point.
Yeah, but pets don't have that mindset, or the humans wouldn't be dumb. Like they would still have some sort of free will to like feed themselves and do all these things. Like they're not going to be animals.
Not until the simian flu takes over and makes humans primitive and lose the ability to speak and creates intelligent apes.
Don't give spoilers.
Spoilers for
What do the humans eat though?
I mean, they'll eat whatever they normally eat. Like,
animals?
Like they'll still be subject. No, well, yeah, you can eat animals. Like I'm not against animals dying for food. just not in an inhumane way. Like, I'm not a vegetarian. Like, I eat meat. Like, I was even saying, I go hunting. Like, but I don't waste their lives. And
I think you go driving, is what we heard.
No! Ouch!
Occasionally I'll hit a deer with my car, sue me.
And if I do go hunting, I think I told you this once, like, I won't take the shot unless I know it was an instant kill.
Yeah.
That way I know that they're not in pain and they're not, like, suffering too much. I mean, it always hurts to get shot, but, like, yeah. But, yeah, I would just regulate. Some people will be farmers, and some people will do this, and they can sort of choose what they want to do, but, yeah, I mean, it'll be a great society, guys. I think everyone should just sign up to be a part of this society.
What I've learned here is I feel awfully scared of both of your plans, and actually mine, because when I was saying it, I'm like, damn, that's a good plan.
What's wrong with my plan?
That's a great plan.
Mine's probably the most unscary.
Yours is the most scary.
Yeah.
Why is mine the most scary?
If I were the head of your organization with all those resources and the teams of all these Black Ops people, I would be drunk with power.
But
I know, but I'm incorruptible. Therefore, I would be the benevolent, like, arbiter of justice. Like, I would be the.
Would you have a lair? Be honest.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I would kick down the door from your lair with a silenced PP7. 2 to the body, 1 to the face. Don't worry, world, I got your back.
I think the out of context quote for this podcast is.
Here's the thing: you're not going to solve all of the world's problems by just killing the leaders and the people who come up from them, because you're also not thinking about the general population and their ideology as a whole group.
I'm not trying to solve all the world's problems. I'm simply trying to kill the bad people.
Yes, but what you're not understanding is in this whole group, like, it'll be a constant cycle of killing people. Because
I know.
That's not cool.
Until eventually someone would stop being bad because they would be like, oh my god, every time I'm bad, somebody dies.
But didn't you say earlier in this podcast that there is no good and bad, that it's more of like, you can kind of understand why villains do their thing?
Yeah.
So in this case, wouldn't you be both hero and villain, and anyone that tries to oppose you would be also both hero and villain?
No, but that's the thing. You guys keep bringing up as anyone who tried to. I'm not a dictator. I'm not like.
I mean,
I already
you're
said this.
dictating.
I'm not messing with the governments of the world. Like, the democracies and the republics of the world are fine. Like, they can run their governments however they want. I'm simply killing the people who took power and have held power against the will of their population. Are you going to honestly tell me that if someone didn't kill Kim Jong-un and his 300 replacements so that no one would take power, that wouldn't be a good thing?
I'm not saying it would be a bad thing, but okay, here's the thing. Here's the difference, guys.
I
will admit,
make it work for us.
I'm not going to rule the world in this scenario.
Invasions.
I will admit I'm a dictator in my version.
You guys are
the sad and almost worst part of all of this is he won't admit it.
That's because I'm not a dictator.
You're just a dick.
You're dictating your ideology on people.
You're just not listening. There's no part of me that's ruling. I'm simply I'm culling.
But you're the person that's deciding who lives and dies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyone that opposes what's in your idealistic view of how, like, people are being mistreated, and you make that decision call, and so you also make the decision call of they're to die or not to die.
Yes.
I would call that a dictator.
Well, but it's based on did you rape somebody? Okay, you're gonna die. Did you kill somebody? Okay, you're gonna die. Did you?
So there's like a
somebody?
checklist. So like you establish this like system. Okay, like,
that's what I've been
if
saying.
You have this many strikes against
that's
you.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just like the rant. It's not like if you
tomorrow
tomorrow was like, hey man, I don't agree with what you're doing, and I'd be like, death. I'd be like,
if you were to establish some
bummer.
kind of system, like a check system.
That's what it is.
Like, or like you're 2 strikes and you're out, or like 1 strike and you're out, or whatever. Then I think that would be more acceptable.
That's what it is.
But I think as technology advances, it's going to be like Captain America, Winter Soldier, to where they have the thing that says this person is prone probably to be a rapist. Shall we kill him before he does it?
Well, yeah, that definitely gets.
I think
that blurs the line.
Yeah,
it's murky.
That's why I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it before.
But also, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? What if this person was accused of a crime, but they didn't actually commit it? Then you just killed somebody.
Well, I wouldn't kill somebody if I didn't know for sure that they did it.
So you'd let them do it.
How would you know for sure all the time?
The same way that the law works.
They don't always know for sure. Like, a lot of times people go to jail for things they didn't do.
Yeah, but if it was a situation where, like, because of the law, certain evidence wasn't able to be admitted, but, like, everyone who saw the evidence was like, he did it, then it's like, obviously. It's a simple checklist. Are you a tyrant, dictator, child molester, rapist, or otherwise bad individual?
Mm-hmm.
My Batman will come and... Are you any of those other things?
But, like,
awesome, you're good to go.
What about, like, just having, like, a huge like space prison where you just throw them up there and like they live out their lives.
Oh, we could
in a
do that.
prison.
Well, that
We could
seems
do
like
that.
an
Away from
Arkham
society.
Asylum, though. That seems like that's like
you put it in
ripe with
space so they
opportunity
can't
to have a
escape.
League of Villains.
Yeah, we could do that
You
too.
just put them in space so they can't escape.
I'd be down for that. Although that would
Fine.
then lead to the plot of the movie.
Kingsman 3. Come on,
No, wait.
there's a League of Villains in space.
No, what's that movie? I think it's called Lockout. It was with Guy Pearce, maybe.
Mm.
Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But it was exactly that. Like, they had this hyper supermax prison in space, and then it crashed onto Earth, and everyone got released, and it was really bad.
I just think about Superman and like their alternate dimension, right? Where he just throws the villain. I mean, of course, in the comics they get out, but like in reality, like do any of us know how to get out of an alternate dimension? No.
Have
Like,
you seen the beginning to Lilo and Stitch?
I remember Lilo and Stitch when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Stitch
remember much.
is a wanted, like an international wanted
Oh no.
thing. And
International one. Guys, I got this great idea for a movie. Listen to me. It's about an international wanted thing.
well, I guess he's technically a dog, or like I don't know, like
He's like
it
a
depends how many
little
arms he has at
baby.
the moment. But he evades all of these space governments
Mm.
and successfully.
Yeah.
And he lands in Hawaii, and he gets adopted by a little girl, and then he somehow cons his way into convincing all of those governments that he is okay. And so it concerns me having these League of Villains in space, even if they're like carefully watched, and even if they're patrolled as your Batman guards, to think they're never going to get out. Think of the moral of Lilo and Stitch. A villainous, wanted piece of shit could escape all of them, charm someone, and get away scot-free.
That's why I want to kill him.
But like, what's
You'd kill Stitch.
you'd kill Stitch. Stitch ends up being great.
You guys have the worst logic in this conversation.
I mean, to be fair, I'm just going off of his logic.
How did this get to I would kill Stitch?
Actually, I didn't finish the movie, so I don't exactly know how it
Oh
ends.
my goodness!
But I'm pretty sure, since there's a TV show,
In what
that-
world did this end up that I'm killing Stitch?
You're killing Stitch.
You guys
Stitch was
keep-
an
you guys
international
keep make-
wanted,
does Stitch
or
live or
an
die?
intergalactical wanted villain, and you would have killed him if he was on Earth. But
You
then
Dana,
You
does
keep
Stitch
invent-
live or die in your universe?
does what?
Stitch live or die?
He lives. Well, of course, he's
Does
a little
Stitch
cutie.
live or die in yours? He's an international wanted
Intergalactic.
criminal.
I have no idea.
Wanted
I don't know
criminal.
what we're talking about anymore. And I
Would
think,
he live in your world?
and I think this is a perfect note to wrap up our podcast since we've hit our
Well,
hit
let's
our
ask
time
let's
limit.
ask our viewers what they think. Which one of our three, I guess, villainous plans is the best?
Yeah.
Please comment.
Yeah.
Let us know which one you think is the best. To recap, Derek's was
I'm going to tell you, and it is as follows. Here we go.
elevator pitch, 90 seconds or less. Go.
How many more floors we got? Okay, so mine is I reach out to alien species. I say, hey guys, let's go take over my home planet. I'm going to defect. But I choose an alien species that I know humans can kill. I try to take over Earth and essentially get every Earthling to band together to fight alongside, to repel all these aliens. I will be the biggest villain of all. They will kill me gloriously. I will have a smile on my face as my head is separated from my body by a sword or something. And I will know that I brought an entire, all the nations of the world together to break down all the barriers to fight a greater evil that I knowingly was.
Wonderful.
Also, Stitch dies. In my universe, if you're wanted by a bunch of other, if you're intergalactic, you gotta go.
I don't know what the Stitch thing is. Your idea was...
So basically, elevator pitch version of mine is mind control, taking care of animals. Nobody dies, but nobody has free will either.
Oh yeah, Planet of the Animals. Planet of the Apes, animals. Animals, apes.
No, because apes aren't taking over the world. It's me taking over the world, and I just have the evil plan of
Right.
She's
controlling
actually doing
everything.
exactly the question that you answered. You said, you're a supervillain.
Right, no,
you
you're right.
take over the
you're
world,
right.
how and why. And
Yes.
You're right,
Solid
no,
answer.
you're right.
All
Okay,
right.
and the correct answer is my plan, which is basically to be a trillionaire and then build a small team of Black Ops, like ex-Black Ops, elite soldiers that are my Batmen, and that can basically be sent on covert missions with advanced technology to take out anybody who's bad, which is like tyrants, rapists, dictators, child molesters, just awful people. We just wipe them out, and eventually when everyone realizes that every time someone does something bad, they get wiped out, people would stop doing bad things.
Before we sign off, he said, okay, first I need to be a trillionaire. How do you make your $1 trillion? Dana, you start. How does Julian make his $1
But
trillion?
I had a whole other thing before we even get to that.
Yeah.
Like, money doesn't always convince people to do things for you. And what is stopping
The
your
Batman
black
from turning on me.
all your black ops? It doesn't matter who from turning on you. Yes, like because as we learned in Game of Thrones, money doesn't always get you everything. How do you stop that from happening?
That'd be a sweet movie if one of the Black Ops guys turned rogue and then everyone was hunting him down. It'd be like John Wick.
This is a great question
Oh, shoot.
that we can discuss next time on the Riffsters podcast.
How do you
Guys,
make your money, though?
if you enjoyed this podcast,
Ambiguous.
please tune in next time. We'll be doing this every Monday around this time. We were a little bit late today because of technical difficulties, but we're going to aim for 7 p.m. usually.
Yes.
That's Pacific Standard Time, so if you're on the East Coast, I think like 10 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Again, I've been Julian.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Dana.
You can find me online at aka Volpe on Instagram and Twitter, and also Volpe Music on YouTube and Facebook.
You can find me on all those same social medias at Dana Lynn X.
And on Twitter, I am Diet Coca-Cola.
Boom. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us for our first pilot. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment with any feedback you have, and we will see you next time. Everybody, one word sign off, go. Or not, sorry. Spontaneous one sentence sign off, go.
I really want to find out how you're going to make your $1 trillion. So I guess...
That was a sign off.
Also, don't forget that if you missed part of this podcast, you can find it on YouTube later at our Riffsters YouTube.
Yes. You can
Mhm.
find the
I
full
wanted to
video
make
on
sure
YouTube.
that was put out before
Yeah.
I say, have fun, guys.
And I suppose my sign off is always clack your coconuts. That's it, guys.
Kicks down door, silent
This is definitely the best
PP7.
so far.
2 to the body, 1 to the head.
This is awkward because I just remembered I have to actually get up and go walk over there to hit the end. Can you hit the end on the...
Alright, so basically, while we're waiting to say it's the end, I just want to say cats rule the world, and